Everyone, this is Xander Breach, and this is my weight loss journey, part 18. Before I continue, may I remind you to please watch the warning video. I cannot stress this enough. If you have not watched the warning video, please do so now before you watch this video. If you have, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So on with the story. It was probably the month of November, and beforehand I should have told you in part 17 that for Halloween that year, we didn't celebrate. Yeah, we didn't celebrate Halloween because Halloween to the family I was living with was the devil's holiday, or the devil's birthday, if you will. But no one really researched the holiday that much to realize something about All Hallows Eve, which brought in a bit of Christian faith. But we didn't know about All Hallows Eve. All we knew excuse me for the error if I did, was that it was the devil's birthday. So, with that said, in November, my adoptive dad decided to have a little family get-together for Thanksgiving. May I remind you, this was going to be a get-together just like the get-together in part 15, but a lot bigger. I was going to meet more family members, more of the great aunts and uncles, more of everybody. So, it's going to be quite an experience. But keep this in mind. Just as I start to think I'm going to have a great Thanksgiving, I was soon about to become the family Annoyance. Or in this case, the Thanksgiving Annoyance. But not only Thanksgiving that year, Christmas and New Year's as well. Made me question, why did I have to celebrate it with this family? Seriously. Why? Because there's certain ways you're supposed to act around family during the holidays. And yeah, I was at fault for some things. I'm not going to lie on that part. But I'm just being real with you right now. Things are about to go seriously down right now. So the day came for Thanksgiving. My stepmom was slaving on the stove. One of the other family members was helping her out. And my adoptive dad, of course, was getting ready for football. Kind of wish he would consider watching Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but no, every year living with him, we don't get Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It goes straight to football. It's like you could just at least sacrifice some of your time to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But I thought to myself, well, I leave his house, I'll get a chance to watch it again. All those years missed because he's so wanting to watch his football, he can't sacrifice a little bit of time in the mornings to let me watch Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's like, come on, dude. So, he's getting ready to watch football. Inside, I wanted to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And I had to keep my mouth shut, like I said before. My stepmom puts out the hors d'oeuvres, like nuts and all sorts of snacks people can eat while they're waiting for the food. And I grab some, it's out in the open. Just had to make sure I had clean hands and keep my mouth shut. So, everything went smoothly in the beginning. I spent some time outside with one of the other family members just to find something to do and to help out because apparently that's what I had to do. And the family shows up one by one. The guests were coming around, and one by one, I was meeting up with some of the other family members. Family members I haven't met yet, family members I already met, so it was pretty nice. So, with that said, as the day got started, dinner was ready. At long last, after slaving by the stove, cooking mounds and mounds of side dishes, everyone helping out, bringing side dishes, we were finally ready to eat dinner. We all talked. We all had a good time. It's pretty good. But here's where the annoyance begins. Some of the family members wanted to know what my mom looked like. So what I did is I went ahead and I got one of her pictures. Probably the only picture I had of her, which was a picture of her and my adopted dad. And when I did that, my stepmom was annoyed. On the inside, she didn't say a word. And she kept her composure. We have to keep a disguise to make ourselves look good in front of the family. But when it's all said and done, the family goes bye-bye. We want to be a two-faced person. So, after everyone saw the picture, I went ahead and did the honors of taking the picture back. Not knowing I was in for a real surprise the next morning, or should I say afternoon. Next thing I did to annoy everybody, one of the other family members caught me saying I did everything with the Thanksgiving dinner. Thought I was hogging up the credit, and I didn't mean to do that. I just, wrong words, wrong things came out of my mouth. Now, that person's annoyed. What else did I do to annoy somebody? Yeah. And it just so happens that everything I did that day, little by little, annoyed the family I was staying with. Adoptive dad probably had a few things on his mind, and everyone kept quiet about what I did because they wanted to make sure to look good in front of the family. One little hitch, one little look, one little way they could do to look good is all that needed to be done. Because to tell you the truth, they had a rep to protect. And if someone screws with their reputation, they get mad. Unfortunately for me, to them, I was screwing with their reputation. So, just when I think Thanksgiving was a great holiday, I was wrong. I ended up helping out with the cleanup. you know. I said goodbye to the family. Some took their side dishes, whatever they took, or left it behind. My stepmom, my adoptive dad, being the caring looking people they are, said goodbye to the family, you know, putting on the nice facade in front of everyone. But technically, they weren't fooling me because I know what happens on closed doors. So, we had a lot of cleanup to do, a lot of leftovers, and I didn't mind helping with that. I think during the nighttime, I had to inflate an air mattress to sleep on. Because one of the other family members that moved in with us, and one of the family members that came with that family member, had to sleep on the bed, so I sacrificed my time into doing the honors of sleeping on the air mattress. Yeah, sleeping on the air mattress. I didn't mind doing it. I honestly didn't. I mean, what could it hurt, you know? So, I slept on the air mattress, but inflating it was a hard task because every night that one family member is going to watch a show. And if I inflate it, I got to make sure I'm not too noisy. So this person can watch their show. So I think that night everything went smoothly. I inflated the mattress. I was able to go to sleep. But I was in for a big surprise the next day. Oh, was I? I kid you not. Big, big surprise. Alright? The day started off great. No one jumped my case. I helped out. Everything went great, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is everyone was saving it for later on. Yep, later on. They wanted me to think I'm going to have a good day. They literally did. On top of that, they wanted my adoptive father involved in the yelling and the yelling and the yelling and put downs. Sorry for the opera singing, but this is how it's gonna go. Yes, I just sang opera. Had to put a little comedy in it, you know. And if you're my friend who doesn't like opera, sorry. So, I gotta tell you, that's how it was. The yelling and the put down train. Here we go! So, how can I say this? It got later in the day, and I gotta tell you, I was having a great day. I helped out with one of the family members, kept my mouth closed, and then it happened. Yep, it happened. My happy butt goes inside after a long and productive day, and the family calls me to the living room. And they tell me every single thing that annoyed them on Thanksgiving the previous day. First, my stepmom had it next on the yelling and put down train. She got mad at me because I'm showing a picture of my mother and my adoptive father together when I know well that she's married to my adoptive dad now. Now I understand they're in a relationship. And she's like, couldn't you find another picture? In my head, I couldn't. And I'm like, I'm sorry. She's like, you embarrassed me in front of everybody in the family. I'm like, thinking, you know she passed away. Why are you jumping my case? Yes, I know I was wrong. Can we talk this out like normal people? No, we can't. Because that's how they are. One little error, you get yelled at. So, when she was done, next up on the list, one of the family members who caught me red-handed. May I remind you, red-handed, taking the credit for Thanksgiving dinner. And I got yelled at for that. You are not in the kitchen slaving and cooking. Why are you taking the credit? And I'm like, okay, I said the wrong things. Can we move on past this? And literally got on my case. Then my adoptive dad had his turn. It felt like standing in front of a jury. Literally. You're in a courtroom. You're in front of a jury of judges. Judging everything you did, every wrong you made, yelling at you, putting you down. Oh, my adoptive dad took his turn. Way, way seriously like he normally does. And he had a wonderful time doing it. Oh, did he? He told me, I am so effing tired of you screwing up. Grow up. I'm like, wow. Two people get annoyed and you go off the deep end? And here I'm trying to keep my cool around you because I could tell you everything I feel right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be the bigger man in this situation because you have no right to yell at me, degrade me, and put me down. No right. I am so sick of the put downs. Yes, I did wrong. I'll admit that like a man in front of everyone who's watching this. But it is wrong to put someone down. Learn to civilly talk to people, or that person will retaliate. If you are a parent that can't be civil around your child, keep this in mind. Your child will retaliate. You're supposed to be uplifting them and bringing them closer to Christ. I see a lot of people these days not bringing their children to Christ. And it hurts me because you know why? Because I wish the world wasn't so screwed up when it comes to disciplining your child. There is ways of talking to your child and learn to put God in the middle of every situation when disciplining your child. Once again, I'm not talking like a parent. I'm talking as the child who had to experience being treated rudely growing up. I cannot stress this enough. I mentioned this to you in part 15, but it relates to this part too. I had obstacle staring at me that day. And it wasn't any fun at all. After being yelled at, put down, every little feeling coming out, yeah, I know it was annoying. I know it was wrong. But I'll tell you one thing. When it was all said and done, I just decided to keep my mouth shut. One of the family members wanted to watch Grey's Anatomy that night. I was supposed to inflate the air mattress, right? Rudely, she gets mad at me because I guess she's allowed to be rude to me. Well, I don't know, one of the family members. And being rude to me, she gets angry if I'm turning on the pump for the air mattress to blow up the air mattress. So she's like, turn the thing off when my show is on. I'm like, okay. You can ask me nicely. I know you're still mad at me, but ask me nicely. So I did what she wanted, to keep her mouth shut. Yes, it was a she. I'm not going to tell you who it was. It could be anybody in the family. So, I'll tell you this straight up. That she looked at me, and when I did what she wanted, there was no questions. Commercial came on, I blew that thing up. The air mattress was blown. She got her show. I got my relax and rest from getting yelled at. We're all happy now. I'll never forget that Thanksgiving. But the worst is yet to come. Because now I gotta deal with Christmas and I gotta deal with New Year's. So just when I think I would have a better Christmas or New Year's, I got another thing coming. Because things are about to get out of control. And I was at a point where I need to get away from that family. I was getting emotionally and mentally abused. And it was getting to a point where I wanted